Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name's StepsBasic, and welcome back to the Comfy Cozy Community Show. Yeah, I just woke up, so I got that morning voice. I love that morning voice. It's so deep and rumbly. Anyway, a bit of a shorter video today. I did have a topic, and I want to talk about it, but I'm going to put on deodorant real quick. Don't look, it's gross. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, I do have a topic for today, but I wanted to talk a little bit about this weekend has been a bad one. Saturday we got hit. I was dropping the kiddo off at mom's place, and some new Navy kid didn't know quite how to stop, I guess, and dude came flying at me. He was trying to stop. I gotta give him that. Like, I hear the screaming of his tires on the road, and I look up just in time to see the smoke, and then bam! Golly, car got shoved. Like the cop says, it looks like he got under me, lifted me up, and shoved me forward into the car ahead of us. And I'm like, oh golly, nobody's hurt. Not us, not the other family, not the kid who hit me, which is good. But now I have to wait for the insurance to come back. I don't know if they're going to try to decide that I'm responsible in any way because I got shoved into the car in front of me. We'll see. I do have a way for them to get a copy of the policeman's report, though, so it'll be all right. Either way, I'm fully insured, so, should be all right. But anyway, apart from that, I did have a topic for today. I thought it was kind of an interesting one. I pulled it from Distractable, that podcast done by that Mark, Bob, and Wade person. It's a pretty good one. I like it. It makes me go, ha ha, a lot. And this one was an interesting topic. Not really many comments to talk about this week. A lot of praise for the dad jokes, which I'm glad y'all are enjoying those. And then it's been a while since I did one of these community shows. It's been a while since I did that one, and we did have Tokyo Fury came back to talk about professional mode, and how rough it is in Resident Evil 4. But that's all the real comments that we had. It was praise and all that fun stuff. No angry people this time. But the topic. Yeah. So Mark, Bob, and Wade was talking about, money, no object. What sort of a weird thing would you expend your money on? Like, it's really hard to explain what he meant, but it was essentially like a niche thing. And as a gamer myself, and I'm pretty sure there are a few people out there who kind of agree with me on this, but an NES, we all know that technology progresses and we get much better gaming systems, much better games, much better just overall technology as we progress forward into the future. Now, of course, in some cases this doesn't hold true naturally. We do get some bad stinkers out there right now, but we do get we do have better technology as everything moves forward. And I was thinking about it, and I want an NES for one. I want an NES, but I also want a CRT TV, but not just any of them. Now, these days, I'm not going to say they're a dime a dozen, but big screen TVs are fairly easy to come by. Like the one I have right now, I got on sale on Black Friday when I first got it. I'm going to have to replace it soon because it's almost as old as the channel is. But I've got this one, and this one is huge. It's like regular monitor and then TV monitor. It's, that sort of relationship. That's how big the relationship is. But back when I was a kid, the size of your TV was a status symbol. You know, it was very much a, hey, look at me, we're doing well, and people would often brag about their, you know, big screen TVs, and now we as a family, being poor that we were, none of our TVs were bigger than this. Yeah, none of our TVs were bigger than that. And those were the expensive ones. So what I would like, because I had a friend who had who was well to do, and he had a TV that came up to here on me, and the screen was about that big, and I want that TV. It is no good compared to what we've got now. But I want that TV, I want the NES, and I want the game Xanadu. None of those are actually good stuff, but they were amazing. Xanadu was one of my favorite games on the NES. It was, how do I even explain this? It was a side-scrolling RPG adventure, and you know, you would go through it, and you would it it was kind of had Castlevania, Metroidvania things about it, where you had to get certain items to get certain things, like you had to get a mattock to get through stone walls and whatnot. But it was an RPG, and you're battling monsters and stuff and progressing through the game and everything. I never got a chance to beat it. It was such a fun game, and I loved it. And I might want Logan's Run too. Was it Logan's Run? But it was another little side-scrolling adventure game that I played too, that I liked, and I want that game. Neither one of them are particularly good games by today's standards, but to me, they were pivotal, defining games in my gamer career, as it were. And of course, I want a CRT TV to make it look, you know, decent. I don't know how many of y'all have seen the pixel art on a digital screen these days. It looks very pixel art, which isn't bad necessarily, but it's a noticeable difference, and I don't mind it so much. But on a CRT TV, God, that's hard to say. CRT TV, CRT TV, there is a quality to them that rounded and smoothed everything, so it wasn't as bad as what it's like to look at it now. So that's why I need a CRT TV to do it, and I want a big one because that's cooler. It's a status symbol and whatnot. Now, I'm not ever going to get these things, but you know, it's one of those a man can dream sort of things. You know, I liked that game. I liked the system was well, it was a starting point for me. It wasn't like I like the NES was my first system. The Atari was my oldest system, so you know, I played the NES first. Nah, that's a ramble. Sorry about that. But yeah, that's what if there was no cost I couldn't match, that is what I would get. And it's weird, I know, but that's the whole point of the prompt. He was talking about lenses that he bought. That's an inside joke if you ever watch the show, or if you ever listen to the show. Either one. But yeah, he was talking about lenses that were fantastic at their job. He properly sold them. And I am talking about a video game system that's been defunct for years, and and a game probably nobody's ever heard about on a CRT TV that isn't in no way matches today's quality of screens. But you know, at the same time, it doesn't need to, because that's not what the prompt is about. The prompt is about what I want. What weird niche collectible item do I want? And what I spend too much money on. Although I do actually have a kind of story about that. See, there's this game called Heroes Quest. It actually got remastered, remade, and released again. re-released as a newer format, and I love Heroes Quest. Heroes Quest was my game back in the day. It was a board game. For those of you who don't know, Heroes Quest is a board game, but it was such an epic. It was what I call D&D light. It was a sort of a well, it was a board game. You get 4 characters, 4 players, going through a dungeon, exploring and taking out the monsters and solving traps and all sorts of fun stuff. It was D&D light, and it was a lot of fun. And I spent $300 on that game, the original version. I bought it. Like, it was a while back, but, back when we weren't struggling so financially, but, I got that game. So I guess that one technically falls within my thing. And I would have to say, like, even to this day, that game holds up properly. That game is awesome. And it is very much D&D light, but I still recommend anyone who's ever played it, or anyone who hasn't played it, to try it out. Right now, the re-release of the game is selling for about 100 well, depending on where you go. If you go to GameStop, you get 120. You go to a comic shop, it's probably 130, 140. Those are the ranges I've seen of it. But I recommend it. If you ever get a chance to, check it out. It's not $300 like I spent on the original version of it. But it's still freaking awesome. But anyway, announcements for today. Announcements, not a whole lot. Now that we've finished up Resident Evil 4, I started Resident Evil Revelations, which is going to be going this week, going up this week. That'd be great. This week, however, it is the first week of winter break, which means I have kiddo, and there's also going to be a lot of headaches going on with the car situation, so it's only going to be one video a week, one video a day for the week. Sorry about that. I know I've been kind of on a roll, doing well. But stupid stutter. But this week's going to be a bit hectic, and Christmas is next week, so here's hoping things go well for us. Such a headache. Apart from that, things are going to be changing in the new year. I still have my yearly wrap-up video where we talk about the year and what we plan to do in the next year, but things are going to be changing in the new year, and it'll be great. Not bad changes, so yeah. Anyway, apart from all that, I think we're done here. We've talked. I've talked. You've listened. Hopefully you enjoyed this. And if you did, go ahead and poke that like button for me. If you'd like to see more from me, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And of course, as always, you're more than welcome to leave a comment down in the comment section down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Who, when I can, if I can, you know all that jazz. And tune in next time for another topic at another time. And until then, good night.